everybody. Hope everybody's staying safe, and I hope everybody out there is getting their consent forms over at the Jack Stokes the family health team. We're going to go right into the open session. Can I get approval of the agenda? Thank you. Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none, no delegations. So minutes of the previous meeting. Resolution 131-21, moved by Councillor Stefuric, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the Council and Committee of the Whole meeting held April 27th, 2021 be accepted as circulated. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 132-21, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the minutes of the special council meeting held May 1st, 2021 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. That was 132.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, business arising from the minutes. Resolution 133-21, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Sales. The council transfer from the infrastructure reserve $10,388.19 to cover the loss on investment resulting from the dissolution of the Anmos Schreiber wastewater facility solar limited partnership. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 134-21, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Stefuric. The council accept the 2020-2021 drinking water system compliance inspection report as prepared by the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 135-21, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor McGrath. That the Council of the Township of Schreiber support the resolution of the North Shore Family Health Team with respect to vaccine advocacy. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 136-21, moved by Councillor Stafuric, seconded by Councillor Sales. The Council of the Township of Schreiber support the resolution of the Township of Hudson with respect to support for the fire departments. All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 137-21, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Sales. The Council of Township of Schreiber support the resolution of the Town of Marathon with respect to vaccine advocacy. All those in favor? Carried. Accounts for payment. Resolution 138-21, moved by Councillor Stafuric, seconded by Councillor Sales, that checks issued on the general bank account in the month of April 2021 in the amount of $209,482.78 for general accounts payable be approved and ratified. Discussion? All those in favor?
One question on that. What's all involved between the accounts payable and the payroll figure? Is that not a simple question? I don't want to. Where does it?
How come it's not all lumped together, you mean?
Well, payroll is about what?
Payroll is our next resolution.
So that 49 is not part of the 209.
Yeah, that's correct. It's not part of it. It's
Okay.
separate.
So accounts payable includes, for example, what?
That's basically any,
What's
we
on
get
that?
any services or anything, right, that we need to charge out. If they invoice us, right, we'd be paying it through that. While as the payroll is just for, again, our staffing expenses, talking about people's salaries.
Well, sure. So accounts payable, for instance, would include like Aqua, for instance. Would it? And what else?
Hydro.
Yeah, basically.
That's
Anything
my
that's,
goal, okay.
that's on that listing there, right?
Yep.
Well, anything
It's on
on
the
this
They
list,
should have the listing there, Doug.
Yep.
on page 2.
Pardon me.
If you look, Aqua's there on the list, towards the bottom.
Who is it?
They go by Ontario Clean Water Agency,
Right.
so yes.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. And resolution 139-21, moved by Councillor Sales, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The bank debits issued on the general bank account in the month of April 2021 in the amount of $49,068.21 for payroll be approved and ratified. Discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, that brings that section to close. Committee of the whole now, department reports and committee board meetings. First up, the CED manager report.
So we'll start off with the Schreiber Fitness Center. The most important thing to keep in mind with this project is that in terms of funding contribution, we're looking at contributing 25% through the township, and the other 75% would be then covered through the province and feds. This is again an ICIP stream grant, and it was actually quite competitive. There was a lot of communities that didn't get it, so we're quite fortunate that we actually landed this one. The reason that we don't have the full costing, we have an idea in mind in terms of what we're going for. The reason that we don't have the full costing again is because we have a tender that's supposed to be closing on this Friday for the renovations. So that was put out by Dominic. Once we get that in, we would be able to then basically put a firm number for what this project is going to cost. The only other firm price we do know is that we're aiming for about $50,000 worth of fitness equipment. Again, the equipment that we have there currently is quite aged. We're not looking at replacing everything, but quite a bit of things.
Yeah, there was some new stuff purchased the last time they gave it a facelift,
Right.
I believe.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, it's whatever we can, salvage there, we're certainly going to keep.
Yeah, because some of the stuff would have been purchased not long ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the ICIP funding is for sure we got this.
It's one of those that we are again hopeful that everything works out. We don't officially get it until we get a contribution agreement. That's what we ultimately have to keep in mind with any of these grants. Until you sign the contribution agreement, it's still, a bit up in the air. But that being said, we're not going to sign off on any contracts until that agreement is given to us and the province is ready to announce it.
So it will happen, and we're not gonna move on anything until we get the funding, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All sounds good.
The next section there is about the A6 trail. Planning to finish that work. They want to get it initiated sometime in July. I don't think it's going to take too much longer to finish that remaining work. The only thing is they have to go quite far into the trail, and it's quite stony, that last part. The next section here for the Discovery Center reopening. The interpretive planning is still planned to be completed by the end of June. The only issue we're facing again is that the museum really can't be open unless we're in the orange phase. And we're quite uncertain about COVID restrictions moving into July. When we were looking at things right from last year, it seemed like we would have been in the clear this year. That hasn't been the case, right? So I think the main thing is, again, for something like this museum, you want to have a proper grand opening. And we want to do it right. I know that next year it's going to be the 30th Heritage Days, and I am really hoping we'll be in the clear by then, where we can make a, big proper opening ceremony for the museum. In the meantime, that will actually allow us sufficient time to prepare, to get everything ready. We can get merchandise, everything into place, have proper procedures into place in terms of operations. So altogether, if we are looking at next year for the opening, we're talking about doing it all really properly next year.
So we're gonna have like a marketing plan to get
Exactly.
into those tourist information stuff and whatever to get
Yep.
it out there.
Yeah, our investment consulting plan, that is also being tendered out, so, that would certainly be done by around then too, so that would be really helpful in terms of, marketing.
I think in terms of, like, I agree, it doesn't seem like it's a good idea to do it this year at all. But maybe for like our residents, we could get a local
Yep.
videographer to maybe make a video of what it looks like inside, so like people can see it and get excited for it or something like that.
And that was actually one of Dominic's ideas.
Yeah, okay.
He was actually stating that exact same point, to provide some sort of teaser
Yeah,
photos.
that's
for
what
the
I'm
public.
thinking, yeah.
Before we actually, open it, let's just show some pictures, videos,
'Cause,
and
I mean, everyone's been driving by staring at it for 2 years now, right? So,
But it-
exactly.
But I'm also thinking, like, I agree with the grand opening next year.
Mhm.
But I'm also thinking if we're, with the building and part of it and all that being done and that being said, could we kind of have a soft opening for, say, August or something?
Like an open house type thing for our residents.
Yeah, like,
I agree with that.
like, I'm not saying open for the whole month of August, I'm just saying open, on this weekend, 2 weekends in a row or something like that for show and tell for Schreiber residents like North Shore, and then that would be it. I mean, we don't have to make that decision tonight.
Yeah.
As we move forward and with this COVID and progress, we can make that decision a month down the road from now, or does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that totally.
yeah.
Like, everybody's asking about it, so they deserve to have some information on what's going on, what the progress is, what it's gonna have, an idea of what it's gonna look
You got
like.
a couple of months to think about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on COVID, really.
Right, I mean,
And see how things go.
Yeah, I think we're going down the right trail for sure and everything, but, like just, even if it was for 2 weekends in a row or something like that, and if the interest was there, maybe we'd have to do a third, but who knows?
I know the interest is there, so.
Okay, that was it for that report. If there are any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Number 2 then, the draft 2021 community profile.
So again, with a community profile, what this is essentially a resource to map our community's natural, economic, and social assets to provide a brief overview and background of the community to potential investors. And it's quite a thorough document. Essentially what Dominic was working on here was just to update the whole thing. We're going to be using this again as a bit of a resource for the investment consultant plan. This will be, for instance, where they would be able to pick up a bit of information. A lot of the primary research for this was, again, we got actually from a secondary source again. It's all mostly Stats Canada. And a lot of it, again, was information that we had originally got from the NWMO, which helped us do a community profile a few years back. So again, this was just, again, to update things. Once we get the results of this new census and once they're published, again, we'll be updating this profile. The community profile is a living document. It's something we got to just keep updating every now and again. But it's an excellent tool, again, for investors to, calculate their business model to see how it would work in the community.
Yeah, it helped me a lot too. There's a lot of information in there that you don't know or never thought about for a long time, so.
Okay. Number 3, the Schreiber Senior Center Committee meeting minutes.
That would go coincide with the seniors coordinator's April report, so.
Okay, then you want to talk on 3
Yeah.
and 4 then, Dan?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll just go over the report. Senior Center report that, of course, we're getting ready for summer and that's been decided that seed packages will be distributed and marigolds. Talking to Kathy today about the marigolds, are gonna be a little delayed towards the end of May, and then they'll be available to senior center members, which is, I believe the numbers are up to, I think she said today, 286 members. And the push on now is to get everyone to renew their membership. So bingo continues to go on with a new twist. If the first 2 lines, there's some frozen pizza donations from Chris and Judy Javert for large frozen pizzas. So I believe it's the first 2 lines. We'll get the frozen pizza. So a new twist. Virtual chair yoga. It will continue till May, and then it'll be decided if it's going to be continued. And the iPads. 14 iPads that we received will be given to the library to be distributed. I just seen an email from Kathy come in that if anybody's interested in picking up an iPad, to contact the senior center for more information on that. And what else is there? Facebook page is a huge hit. The numbers here show that people have connected in the month of April for over 10,758 times, so that's a pretty big deal for someone's Facebook page. So lots of good stuff going on and more to see. So.
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
these tables keep showing up busted,
Well, I think I talked about that last
Yeah.
meeting. Yeah,
but then it says
it
that
was
they
a
sent
defect in I guess the mold or.
Yeah, but then it says that they sent them back and then once again.
They came back and it was the same thing. So
Okay.
compensation was, I believe, 4 extra tables.
Okay.
So it wasn't it's not a major defect.
No, it's just ridiculous.
Well, yeah, I agree.
It's like you're a table making company.
Yeah.
Okay. So do we have the tables?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Number 5, bylaw enforcement officer report.
Yeah, and actually, I was with the bylaw officer today. We went around to check for land maintenance, and I have to say, things are looking really good out there. It was not too much we noticed. We thought we'd give the heads up because spring clean is coming around.
Okay, I got a rest.
Yeah.
Peyton there, they went by.
Did they ever find out whose abandoned vehicle that was on the beach road? I was there that day that Karen come along and we were talking about it.
Oh,
Kind
okay.
of parked right on the last hill, like right before the start of it's best to drive there. I'm thinking, why did they just coast to the bottom of the hill and go in the parking lot?
I can follow up on that
Yeah.
for you.
Okay. Number 6, bylaw enforcement officer report, the ballpark used as a dog park.
So, again, looking into the research from this, I didn't hear back from insurance yet, but the whole point being is if you have your dog and your dog is not on your own private property and is unleashed, that you could technically be fined according to what our bylaws are right now. So dogs need to be leashed at all times outside of our private property, and they cannot be left unleashed in the ballpark. The signage actually at the door, it exists there as a reminder. Off-leash dogs can be fined $50. Failure to pick up dog waste, that's a $200 fine. Failure to register a dog with the township is a $50 fine. Staff after that last meeting did go and check, and there was some dog waste in the ballpark. And we've also heard from some members of the public who stated that they feel uncomfortable with dogs running off leash while they're in the ballpark. So again, dogs have to remain on leash, and it's more really a liability, especially for the owner of the dog. I mean, you don't want it going off and coming in any other person's personal space.
So could we look into that, that area I talked about at the last meeting, attached to the ball field?
To use that as
If
an
there is
off-leash dog
if
area.
there is a large majority of citizens who want an off-leash dog park, then I think that's a decent option to just fence that last section and then say that that's an
Yeah, I think
off-leash
it's
dog
big
park.
enough.
But I don't know if the interest is there, or it's
Right.
just, I don't know if you got complaints, or I don't know.
Would you have to put a gate on this side, Dave?
Well, there's the gate
There's
in
a
the
gate
parking
there.
lot to get in. You just have to
Right.
fence that last
Close it
section.
off from left field.
But I mean, if you got issues over here with a dog running at large, you're gonna have issues over there.
No, but that's just designated an off-leash dog park, and that's the only place your dog could be off-leash,
Does
is
that
it?
change things as far as insurance goes or liability?
Well, I'll
Yeah,
have
you'd
to
have to
100%.
Yeah, you'd have to look.
find out.
I'm just saying, is that an option?
Yeah,
Can you look into it?
Yeah, that could work. Again,
If the need is there.
yeah, the only factor again that will come into play here again is the dog waste, right?
But
That-
will it not be on the owners to?
It would, but again, you'd hope that people would clear it, otherwise it would build up there.
90% of the people would clean up after their pets. It's that 10% that ruins it for everybody else.
Yep.
So we can look into that spot, like
Yeah,
it's an
absolutely.
unused fenced in, almost fully fenced in area.
I'll certainly look into that. I mean, I should hear back soon again from insurance
Yeah,
specifically.
like,
on
yeah,
that.
what are the,
Yep.
what do we have to do to make an off-leash dog park?
Yep.
Should citizens want that?
Yep.
I don't even know if they do, I don't know.
But,
No,
I can-
no off-leash dogs in the ball field.
that's correct.
All right.
Okay, number 8. Schreiber Water Wastewater Monthly Operations Report.
Number 7.
Or number 7, sorry. Building permits and demolition permits report. Are you okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Number 8, Aqua, the Schreiber Water Wastewater Monthly Operations Report, March 2021.
So, council's aware, I am looking at arranging that meeting with Aqua. Either next meeting we have or special council meeting, so we'll have enough. Just think, if there's any questions you have, just think about that because it'd be a good time for them to answer it to you directly.
That'd be a good meeting.
just get an update on our wastewater project.
Yeah. They look forward to questions, as Patrick said. Number 9, just the Schreiber Water Treatment Plant work order summary report, March 2021. And number 10 is March work order summary report. Hearing no discussion, we'll move right into question period. You got nothing, Nathan? Nothing, eh? Okay, communications.
Only one I seen there was number 6 that we might want to support. And that's for the
Awesome.
Northern Ontario School of Medicine. The partnership between Laurentian University and Lakehead University. I guess Laurentian is insolvent or in a state of insolvency right now, or so that's one of the problems, I guess. But
Is it a problem now, or was it a problem before?
well, you wonder how does that ever happen?
You know,
At a university that's partially either government funded or partially government funded.
they didn't have half of the medical school before,
Yeah,
like Lakehead has as well. So, there's so many things here behind the scenes, like,
yeah.
we're just guessing, really. But,
Well, they want to create a standalone school now, but why don't they just move it all to LU, you know?
Mhm.
But just, I just wanted to bring something up that, when we were, in the NOMA conference last week, there was a Dr. William McCready talked about the Northern Ontario School of Medicine, and that we're short 50 psychiatrists in Northern Ontario, and general internal medicine 16, we're short 16. And the question was asked, well, how do you get more doctors to stay in the area after they complete their education? And he said, you basically have to increase the program. So rather than take away from Northern Ontario, it should be increased. That's why I feel we should be supporting the resolution. So at least,
Yeah.
you know, one of the other questions that was brought up was, can communities fund doctors, like pay for their education so that they'll stay behind and live in their community for a commitment of a couple or 3 years? And he said, well, normally they've tried that in the past, and what happens is that students will buy their way out of that commitment, so that hasn't worked. So the more we train here in Northern Ontario, the better chance we'll get to stay behind. So
Yeah, I could throw my support behind it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you got that one then, Nathan?
Yep,
Cecile?
so-
Okay,
Do we have the original resolution from,
They did attach, right, the original,
okay.
it's there and there, so we'll support the original, yeah.
okay. You got another one that you want to do? No, you're good? Okay. We'll move into unfinished business, and there's none. Other business, delegation requests for the 2021 AMO conference. I guess we're June 4th, so.
Minister of Infrastructure.
Okay.
Minister of Infrastructure.
This has been the Minister of Infrastructure, has been the one that we've been pursuing in order to, again, just bring about, at the very least, right, we want to bring about awareness that our Northern Ontario communities need funding for infrastructure. And they do provide grants, but just like that last round of ICIP Green Stream funding, we were told that our project, wasn't on the list there because the amount of requested funding far exceeded what they had budgeted for. So what I'm trying to state is, we have to keep on fighting for the advocacy to state that we need more money then budget more, because it's really hurting our small towns again to come up with these major infrastructure costs. So,
And then I was thinking, should we not hear anything from on the natural gas project? Does Daryl want us lobbying for that
They,
at AMO? 'Cause is that something we need to consider or no?
No,
Okay.
that's being, in terms of all lobbying and all for that, that's being handled through their PR firm.
Okay, so we don't have to.
Don't have to worry about that.
share a letter went out today
Okay.
from out that way.
Minister of Infrastructure.
So we got, well, it's June 4th, pretty quick, yeah. We'll think about it for next meeting.
Housing.
Housing potentially too.
Potentially.
You don't know which way we're,
You could always ask for the finance minister.
Yeah, that goes in a couple of things. Yeah, even if you have an issue, you want to bring up, if you let me know, I can then tell you which minister's, portfolio would
I
go
mean,
under.
our
so-
wastewater thing is our biggest thing, I
Right.
would say.
Yeah.
So you want to try to hit infrastructure and finance as well. Wouldn't he not?
no, we gotta try.
You gotta
We
try.
gotta try.
Yeah.
We can't give up on that one. Actually, we should, I'll talk to you anyway tomorrow. We should
Are we,
lobby somewhere.
how do we lobby the feds for?
Again, the best route was through the FCM, that and our federal minister, right, that's again, Minister Patty, I do.
Yeah,
Should try to get a meeting or
We've
something.
touched base on, through both avenues, and,
have you got anything?
the FCM is still trying to, again, bring that, advocacy again to this issue. They've done all the math and everything, and they've stated that they have presented that to the, federal, Ministry of Environment. And, with, things like this, it takes a bit of time. I'm hopeful that the best way that we can, deal with this again is to find another round of funding, whether it's provincial or federal. I know that we have, our local ministers are certainly very well aware of this issue.
Yeah.
So it's on their radar. The main thing is we're just waiting for the perfect grant to come along that would cover up to, that amount that we need. My fight was never, again, with the regulations or anything like that. Totally get it, we just need the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who do you think will be speaking at NOMA, for this NOMA conference in regards to speaking with the Minister of Colleges and Universities in regards to the,
Northern
School of Medicine.
Yeah, that would maybe something
well, no kidding,
we should,
like,
we can pursue for sure.
there, all I was saying earlier, Dan, is there's some underlying reasons here, what's going on,
Yeah,
and we haven't got a clue,
yeah, like always,
Right.
there's lots that we're not hearing. So,
So,
It looks,
that ought to be a the top of Noma's radar as far as who to speak to in regards to.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Looks like they have it there. It's Minister Ross Romano, Ministry of Colleges and Universities.
so if we're all barking at them, maybe we'll get some results, who knows? So, yeah, then put that on the list. We can ask for how many? 2? Or we can ask for many, but we're only gonna get 2, correct?
It varies, you know.
Yeah, okay.
You can ask for a lot, and you can certainly get a lot of things. My suggestion, though, is always focus on the matters that are most important. I just don't want it to be a scenario, you know, where if you cry wolf for every issue,
Yeah.
they're not going to take it so seriously, right? So put the most significant issues, you know, and pursue those.
Okay, well, we got a meeting on the 25th, eh? Of May?
Yep.
Fine, well,
Finally.
we can finalize that.
Right.
Think of anything else. Okay, well, that's it. That's, bring this meeting to adjournment then. Resolution 140-21, moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Sales, that the meeting now adjourn at 7:42 p.m. All those in favor?